What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a simple two-step process on how to keep your rubber floor mats clean in the winter. Super simple, super easy, maybe a couple minutes of your time, depending on how fast or slow you move. Today I'm going to be showing you how to clean off these bad boys. So here is the floor mat to my vehicle. It is completely dirty, as you guys can see. Lots of mud from the winter in there. The top's pretty clean, but where my feet actually go, it's real dirty. So I'm gonna show you guys a little two-step simple process from Adams Polishes products that is going to clean this mat and make it looking brand new real quick. So in today's video, we're gonna be using Adams Rubber Mat and Liner Cleaner to clean your mats off right away. Then once we get the mat fully clean, we are going to be using Adams Polishes Rubber Mat and Liner Protectant. So essentially this stuff is awesome because it gives you that like nice glow and kind of that glossy, brand new looking look back to your rubber mats, and essentially can make them look brand new. And this stuff is awesome. It also gives a nice little layer of, it's not going to make your floor mats super slippery, but it is going to give a little bit of that grit and gritty back, so it doesn't feel like it's you're going to step in the winter and you're going to slide across it. It's going to give you a little more grip. So anyways, let's jump into the video. So the items you're going to need today to clean these mats are a brush of some sort. Now, don't hate on me. I have forgotten my bigger, larger brush, hard bristle brush. So all I have is this little Viking brush. It's a little hard bristle one, but it's not very big, so it might take me a little longer. But if you do have a bigger brush, I highly recommend using it. Don't be using the small one because it will take you longer. You'll need a microfiber towel for after and drying process, and then you will need a bucket of water, which I have on the ground over here. So essentially all the water is to do is just to simply dip your brush in for after a few times of scrubbing, get this dirt off, and then go back to re-scrubbing. And then I will use the bucket as well to wash the mat off after the fact. So let's jump into it. All right, so as you guys can see, I got my bucket here. I do have my microfiber towel, and I will have my tool. I will leave the links down below, as always, to the products that I'm using and the tools that I'm using. So essentially what I'm gonna do is kind of just get this mat a little bit wet, just because I want a little bit of water on there for the product itself. So not too much, that should be good enough. You're gonna take your rubber mat and liner cleaner, open that puppy up to the spray version, and I'm just going to absolutely kind of soak this mat, get it nice and dark, and then simply just take my brush, dip it in the bucket a little bit, and just start kind of scrubbing. You'll see kind of the foam start to activate. That's what you guys want. And let's do a time lapse to cleaning. All right, now that I got my mat pretty much all foamed up, essentially what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take my bucket of water that I have, and then I'm gonna dump it on the mat, kind of give it a nice little wash, and then I'm gonna have to refill my bucket up with a little bit more water. I didn't add too much because all I wanted was enough to just dip my brush in and get wet. So I will have to refill after this, but I'm gonna bring it back here, kind of towards the door, take my bucket. Now I do the bucket because if you don't have a hose, if you don't have access to a hose and it's the winter time for you and it gets really cold and you don't run water, you just fill a bucket up like this or a couple cups. If you do cups, it takes longer, but use a bucket like this and then fill it up, you know, maybe a quarter of the way full like I have here, and then I just like to just slowly dump it across the mat. Make sure you tip the mat away from you so you can dump water on the high side and it streams down and kind of washes everything off the front of the mat. This is if you don't have a hose. If you have a hose, that's so much better. All right, so I'm out of water, which that is actually all right. So here's the mat. I don't even think I'll need to refill. Mat already looks great. Literally, simply, only by using that tiny little brush of mine and spraying some of the product on there, it has already cleaned a majority of that stuff off. You guys can either dry the mat yourselves if you want, or you can let it kind of just air dry. The product, you can do either or. It's up to you how you truly want to. I kind of like to let it just dry a little bit. I will use the microfiber towel, kind of just dry up a little bit of the area. I'll show you guys how to use the protectant. All right, so obviously you guys can see there's a little bit of water because there's some shine to it. I didn't dry it fully, so this is good enough for me. I'm gonna call it fine. Now I'm gonna add the product to it. Just kind of get a light coating over it. You don't wanna soak it, but you wanna get enough so it kind of covers the whole area. So let's do this. So there, that's about good enough. I've covered every spot. It's got a pretty nice smell to it too, I like it. So all I'm simply gonna do now is just let this stuff soak. I'm gonna let it sit for about 2 minutes and then I'm gonna dry it off with a microfiber towel. Make sure I get everything area, and then the towel allows you to kind of spread the product around to the spots where it didn't reach with just the spray here, and then you also just wanna dry the rest of it up, so. All right guys, it's set for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now, as you guys can see, I've got a lot of product kind of still sitting here, and as I tilt it, it kind of moves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna tilt the mat away from me, let that stuff kind of soak out onto the floor. That's all right. Just like that. Give it a couple shakes. And then I'm going to use my towel, my microfiber, use the other side that's not wet. Now, we're just gonna dry it up. All right, so here it is, the final reveal for the mat. As you guys can see, I do have a little bit left product in there. I will dry that up, but essentially this is your finishing product. A nice, clean, refreshed black mat. Like always guys, if you did like the video, make sure to leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Do you guys have any other things that you recommend using to clean your floor mats in the winter time? If so, people in the comments love to read them. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.